It's my new dawn era. Greetings to everybody out there. And if you are a true Nigerian and you love this country, I want you to say this with me. The reign of terror is over in Nigeria. The reign of oppression is over in Nigeria. The reign of wickedness is over in Nigeria. The reign of killers is over in Nigeria. And heads must rule. The Church of Christ in Nigeria is indestructible. The Church of Christ in Nigeria is unstoppable. And that is the verdict of heaven. In my first video, I talked about the Fulani people. I said they were not originally from Nigeria. History has it that between the 14th and 16th century, they've been moving around the West African sub-region, in places like Niger, Chad, Sudan, Senegal, as nomadic farmers, the way they move. But they began to settle in northern part of Nigeria, in northern Hausa land. There was no Nigeria at that time, so they began to settle in Hausa land around the 19th century. That is between 1801 and 1899. That was when they began to settle around, some of them began to settle around the northern part of Nigeria, in places like northern Cameroon, in Adamawa. That was when they start intermingling with the Hausa people. Those places were Hausa land, they were not Fulani land. History also has it that Usman Danfodio was invited to Gobir. Gobir is one of the seventh empires of Hausa land, ancient empires of Hausa land. He was invited to Gobir by an Hausa king known as Bawa. So he was invited to come and start, to be teaching, and then, he was teaching people. He even converted Bawa. And then Bawa also, introduced Yumfa, who was Bawa's nephew. And then Usman Danfodio was teaching Yumfa also. Usman Danfodio was able to gather many converts. He became very popular, and then so many people, Hausas were converted and became his followers. So when Bawa died, and Yumfa became the leader, the king of Gobir, there was an altercation, a kind of misunderstanding between Yumfa and Usman Danfodio, because Usman Danfodio wanted to establish full Sharia in Gobir and in Hausa land. It became a source of disagreement between Yumfa and Usman Danfodio. So Usman Danfodio was exiled. He was sent away. He called, because he called the Hausa people pagans, and he wanted to establish full Sharia. So in his exile, he later regrouped and called his Fulani brothers, and then he launched a full jihad between 1804 and 1808 with his Fulani brothers, and then some of the Hausa converts. He launched a full jihad and conquered, Hausa land of Kano, Daura, Zaria, Borno, Gombe, Adamawa, even Nupe land, and up till Yoruba land, some parts of Yoruba land in Ilorin. They stopped at Ilorin. That is why Ilorin in Yoruba land has an emir today. And then they converted all their conquered territories into emirates, and these emirates were subject to the Sokoto Caliphate. In 1809, Usman Danfodio went to establish the Sokoto Caliphate in what is today known as Sokoto, and all emirates, all their emirates where they conquered, all the Fulanis conquered, became subjects. They have an emir in their emirate who they installed, and all the emirs and emirates are subject to the Sokoto Caliphate, and Usman Dan Fodio became the first Sultan of Sokoto. So that was how they conquered the northern part. There were resistance in some places around areas like Benue, the Tivland resisted them, and then when they got to Ilorin, there are some parts of Yoruba land that also resisted them. So they stopped there, and from there they didn't continue their jihad, but they started, their Islamic teachings and all that, and that's why you still have some Muslims accepting them in Yoruba land. But the jihad stopped in Ilorin. That is where they stopped. That is why they have an emirate at Ilorin, and that's why I'm surprised when some people say that the federal government of today doesn't know about the Fulani, the jihad that is going on now. Okay, if the federal government does not know, why is the federal government saying that states should give up land for cattle colonies? Why is it that the federal government is saying that states should give up land for cattle colonies? Even one of the special assistants to our president is saying that is it not better to give up your land than to die? What kind of statement is that? So far so good. Some states have given up lands for cattle colonies. All the states are in the northern part of Nigeria, in the northeast, northwest, and north central. Only 2 states, that is Benue and Taraba, have not given up land for cattle colonies, and it is in those 2 states that even during the Usman Dan Fodio wars, there were resistance from the people of those states. So each state now, although 16 states have given up land for cattle colonies, each state have given up 5,000 hectares of land. 1 hectare of land is about the size of a standard football field. You know what is a standard football field is? That is 1 hectare of land. Now 5,000 of that in 16 places. 5,000 of land is a big city. So you say you are not preparing for jihad. What do you want? Who are the people that are going to stay in 5,000 hectares of land? 5,000 of land is like a big town. So many people can live in that place. But also now, it's not just in one state, in about 16 states. That means there are so many people that are ready to launch this jihad. Now, to corroborate that, in January this year, 2018, a group who call themselves Fulani Nationality Movement wrote a letter to our Papa, Bishop David Oyedepo, where they said, and I quote, "We have asked all Fulani men all over West Africa to move to Nigeria and perpetrate every corner for the upcoming jihad." That was in January this year. So you can see that these people are up to something. That is why Nigerians must stand up to resist what these people are planning. Nigerians must come together to stop these waves of killings, and we must not give up our land. Actually, when the federal government was asking for land in all parts of Nigeria, the governors of the southwestern part of Nigeria, they did not say anything. They were just keeping quiet in the southwestern part of Nigeria because they belong to the party of the president. They want a second term. They don't want to offend the president because the president is the Fulani herdsman. It is the citizens of the southwest that rejected it because it is unacceptable. So Nigerians, you have to stand up for your land. Even in those states where they are giving up land, some of these governors are Fulanis, while some of them belong to the governor's party and they are scared. Some of them don't know what to say. So it is the citizen that must rise up. In my next video, I will be talking about the land ownership structure in Nigeria, how the governors of the state have so much power to actually give land. So we have to restructure the land ownership of Nigeria. The people who own the land must form themselves as communities and protect their land and decide who take over the land, so that there will not be illegal occupation, so that one person will not stay as the governor of the state and start saying, you people can come, anybody can come and take over the land. So God bless you as you do this and as you come together for the interest of the country, for the interest of your people. Thank you so much.